Kyle is famous. Has a DLC. Kyle was famous. Kyle is a hot dog. Kyle is a hot dog is a DLC. This looks like there has like 4 different endings that are on the main one that we haven't gotten after that. Yeah, and the Kyle is hot dog thing has like a lot of them. Let's try to find this. Okay, so one of the decisions is become something special.
I'm gonna guess that's a hot dog.
Become hot dog salesman. Kyle laid in bed for a moment, thinking about the day ahead. He would produce another episode of his long-running show. Yes. Kyle thought about making breakfast, the same breakfast he'd been making for the past 9 years. Kyle thought about the clothes he would wear. They had not changed for a long time. Kyle waited for something new and interesting to enter his head. Something fresh, something exciting. Kyle continued to wait. Nothing came to mind. In a sudden moment of inspiration, Kyle threw his covers to the ground and stepped out of bed. Kyle had made a decision today. Today would not be part of an old journey. Today would be start of something new. Kyle walked over to his desk and opened the middle drawer. He slowly removed an ancient withered stick of meat.
What?
Today Kyle planned to make good on his childhood passion, the career he had abandoned to become a talk show host. Kyle looked caringly at the crusty hot dog in his hands. Then he smiled. Then he bent his lips backwards and slowly sucked the hot dog into his mouth and down into his stomach. Okay. Kyle had become a hot dog vendor. He must now prepare for his first day running a hot dog.
So all you need to do to become a hot dog vendor is eat a hot dog.
Yeah, you eat a hot dog and all of a sudden you're able to sell hot dogs.
I didn't know the bar for having an entire stand of your own was so low.
Start day. So what do I do?
Well, I'm assuming now you're trying to get ready for your hot dog stand, so make sure to put on clothes and eat something.
Hot dog suit. Kyle put on his hot dog suit, which he had made by stitching hot dogs together when he was a child. Chew on suit. Chew on it. Feeling fairly hungry, Kyle bent over and took a large bite out of his suit. He felt refreshed. It wasn't enough. Kyle continued to eat his clothing. Soon Kyle had eaten most of the suit. The chunks that were left were enough to act as clothes, but barely. Kyle felt satisfied. The hot dogs had nourished him greatly, functionally given him more time in his day.
You managed to do both at once, I guess.
Okay. Scavenge. Realizing his immediate need for hot dogs, Kyle started looking around for hot dogs. He crawled around, spreading layers of mold to the side with his hands and picking out interesting items. Kyle couldn't find any hot dogs, but instead he found a pile of love letters he had written in high school. Kyle pocketed the envelopes and got back to his feet. Sit at desk. Rewrite love letters. Search for hot dogs.
What? I don't know. Rewrite the love letters.
Kyle took out the letters from his pocket and set them on the desk. But after a moment, Kyle realized that he did not have any writing utensils. Kyle got up from his desk, defeated but optimistic. Interesting. Kyle searched his desk to find more hot dogs that he could sell. But Kyle had moved his hot dog stash somewhere else. He shut the desk drawer empty-handed. Leave apartment. Visit marketing agency, huh? Kyle walked to the center of the agency entrance. It looked professional. It had an attendant behind a desk. Approached the attendant. Kyle walked over to the attendant and gave her a smile. Pretend to die? Ask about life, back to agency. Ask about marketing. Pretend to die. Kyle. Kyle let out a blood-curdling scream and fell onto the attendant's desk, face first. The attendant did not buy Kyle's death. She continued working. Trying to sell the effect, Kyle lay on the attendant's desk for several hours, motionless. Eventually, Kyle sheepishly stood up and wordlessly walked out of the agency. Approached a downstairs neighbor. Consume Gabby. After a long day of preparation, Kyle felt very ready for his first day as a hot dog salesman. Unpack love letters? As Kyle was unpacking, his hand brushed the old love letters he had picked up earlier. He stopped. Something tugged at Kyle's heart. These letters were a piece of himself. These letters were a piece of history. Kyle realized it was time to give these letters to their original intended recipients. Kyle looked at the top of the letter of the stack. It was addressed to Abigail, a girl Kyle had liked during high school. Abigail had moved to the other side of the city with her husband a few years ago, but Kyle was willing to make the trip. Oh my god.
You're gonna show up at a fucking married woman's house to give her a love letter.
Okay. Kyle skipped away to Abigail's house, letter in hand. It wasn't that Kyle liked Abigail anymore. It wasn't that he missed her. To Kyle, this was more important than that. Okay. After an hour of walking, Kyle finally reached Abigail's front door. With excitement in his heart, Kyle took a breath and knocked on the door. Abigail opened. Kyle, she said, smiling. What are you doing here? It's been so long. Abby, said Kyle, I have something I want to read to you. Kyle took the letter to Abigail, clutched in his hand, and opened it for the first time in 14 years. Dear Abby, I feel funny when I look at you. Sometimes I think about you when I lie awake at night, but also sometimes not. But that's less often. I also talk about you constantly to everyone when you're not around, and it's not always good things. Sometimes I also steal your lunches when you're not looking and keep them in a drawer at my house to look at when I'm bored. I want you to promise me something. Kyle looked at Abby meaningfully. Promise you like me. And if you do like me, please show me by shoving live fish down your throat as a sign of dedication. Abigail shut the door. Kyle looked up from the letter and stopped reading. He looked at the door in front of him. He realized that Abigail probably had something she had to do, so he decided to leave her letters for her to read later. Kyle pressed the letters against the door and pushed firmly. He took a nearby rock and drove it through the papers into the door so Abigail could not miss them. Okay. With evening dawning, Kyle went home satisfied that he had finished an old chapter of his life. When Kyle got home, he realized that he loved writing letters to Abigail. He decided that he would continue to do so every day and make her his pen pal. Okay. Kyle fell asleep with a smile. It had been a good day. Kyle got a pen pal.
So you mean Kyle became a stalker? That's what it kind of sounded like.
Yeah. Think about hot dogs. Being in the kitchen gave Kyle a massive amount of hot dog related nostalgia. He stood still, pondering. Continue thinking about hot dogs. Kyle continued to think about hot dogs. Continue. Kyle still continued to think about hot dogs. He thought about their flavor. He thought about how different brands tasted different. You can just continue to do this, huh? Kyle thought about hot dog texture and their feeling in his hand. Kyle was still thinking about hot dogs. Kyle's skin began to dissolve its bonds and melt from standing still too long. He began to spread across the floor, creating puddles through the kitchen. What? Kyle's jaw caved, causing the top of his head to slowly drop backwards and point towards the ceiling. Kyle sunk lower and lower. His height was soon half of what it was before. Chunks of skin fell to the ground. Kyle's fingers and legs fell off, dissolving into drops of ooze as they dropped. Kyle was a large puddle of melted skin with bumps where his main features used to be. Kyle's atoms had lost all of their bonds. He had turned into nothing more than a meat-based soup. What? Kyle stopped moving, thinking about hot dogs, and moved on with his day.
Really?
Okay. Kyle searched through the fridge, trying to find hot dogs. His search turned up nothing. Kyle was not surprised, as he never stored meat in his refrigerator. Kyle realized he had not taken the important step of actually acquiring any hot dogs. Kyle knew that in order to continue, he was going to need to visit somewhere close by to try to acquire hot dogs. Tech store, orphanage, abandoned warehouse, or shopping center. The orphanage. Why not? Kyle decided that it would be best to go to find some hot dogs at the local orphanage. To boost their monthly income, the local orphanage ran several fundraisers that gave services to the city. Kyle subscribed to one such service. Volunteers would mash the orphans' toys and dead pets together and distribute the paste from a faucet behind the orphanage. That's disturbing. Residents of the city could pay a subscription fee to use the faucet for a certain period of time every day. Kyle had become a regular paste subscriber to get cheap food, juice, or glue depending on what he needed. Kyle walked behind the orphanage and swung open the faucet, hoping today's slurry was suitable to make hot dogs from. For a moment, nothing came out, but with a loud burst, the faucet started spewing out orphans.
Orphans?
The orphans had staged an uprising and were escaping through the faucet. Finally free to the world, the orphans rushed forward, crushing Kyle beneath their feet. The orphans knew exactly what their plan was to be. They wasted no time putting it into action. Several orphans quickly constructed a large building. Others called their contacts in the marketing industry. Within minutes, the orphans had constructed a large hot dog restaurant. Immediately, the denizens of the city began flooding through its doors to buy hot dogs. It was not long before the orphans had completely taken over the local food industry. It's pretty ambitious. The reach of the hot dog shop increased. People stopped buying other food. Grocery stores closed. But the orphans were not finished. They soon expanded their business to all outlets. They monopolized insurance, retail, production, art, entertainment, and everything in between. Stay Up Late with Kyle was taken off the air to be replaced with various orphan broadcasts. Soon, everything that Kyle was known for had been replaced with something orphan-related. Nevertheless, Kyle remained famous as the man to release the orphans, and was featured in all books of the orphan history books. Kyle did not sell any hot dogs. The orphans were prepared. Okay. Well, let's leave the apartment and go to the tech store. Talk about hot dogs. Excited by his new job as a hot dog salesman, Kyle decided to share his happiness with the store clerk. As Kyle opened his mouth to speak, his stomach contracted violently. Kyle started spewing out undigested chunks of hot dog and chunks of his stomach lining. Ew. The hot dog Kyle had eaten earlier had multiplied in his stomach, causing a massive amount of hot dog pieces to grow inside him. After a couple of minutes spewing, Kyle stopped. He looked at the attendant. "Oh, you know." Kyle rolled his eyes, smiling slightly, and shrugged. The attendant did not seem to want to respond, so Kyle decided to leave the tech store. Highly unusual. Rummage and trash.
Ever get a job in anything?
I don't know. Kyle began rummaging around in the trash can, looking for anything interesting. After picking through the wrappers and cups, Kyle noticed that there was a red bun stuck to the bottom of the can. Oh man, I wanted the red bun. Why did I do that? Ask about life. "Hey you," said Kyle. "What's going on? How's life?" Before the attendant could answer, Kyle continued. "Do you enjoy your life? Are you happy? How are your home relationships? How much debt are you in?" Kyle started pounding his fist emphatically on the table. The attendant brightened. "I have been waiting for someone to ask." Kyle and the attendant spent several hours in an upbeat conversation about life. Both enjoyed. Indecent exposure when selling hot dogs. Kyle went to jail.
Really?
Well, I mean, there are many other times that he should have went to jail. That didn't happen. Okay, so you leave the apartment, go to the attendant. Kyle eagerly pressed the red button on the bottom of the trash can. The wall above the trash can started shifting and spinning, eventually revealing a slab of pewter with an indent. Okay, incident. The slab was thick and old. A plaque was embedded in its top, reading, "The slab embraces only a true weapon."
What?
I don't know what that means.
There's a something.
That's something. Oh, you can ask Gabby for a pen. Tell Gabby about hot dog sales. Gabby, Kyle said, "I think I have had a big life change today." Gabby raised her eyebrows. "I'm giving it all up, Gabby. It's time for me to follow my heart. I'm going to sell hot dogs now." Kyle looked into her eyes. Gabby looked over her shoulder, trying to find an escape. "Good job, Kyle," she said. "Sounds like you'd better get started on that right away." Kyle realized that Gabby was right and returned back to the street. Kyle made his way to the street corner, but there was a problem. Had forgotten to put on clothes. But I did put on clothes, didn't I?
Nope, obviously not.
Oh, you're right, because I never went back into a closet. Right. Okay. So let's leave the apartment. Visit downstairs neighbor. Greet her appropriately. Ask for a pen. "Gabby, this is important. Do you have a pen I could borrow?" "Kyle," said Gabby, "don't you have even a single pen of your own?" "No, Gabby," said Kyle, clutching her arms and looking into her eyes. "I haven't written since high school." Gabby stared at Kyle and pursed her lips. After a moment, she took a pen out of her pocket. "Kyle, I'll give you a pen, but please be careful with what you write. Harsh words are a weapon to wield carefully."
What?
Kyle mumbled agreement, took the pen, and skipped away from Gabby's house. Return to apartment. Return to bedroom. Sit at desk. Search for hot dogs.
Wait, then how did you rewrite the love letters if you didn't have a pen?
Wait, I thought that's where the love letters were. Am I wrong? Oh, I had to scavenge. Never mind. Okay, anyways, I don't have any hot dogs this time, so let's go to the tech store. Kyle thought that the local tech store would probably have what he needed for his hot dog business. Kyle skipped inside, looking forward to the lovely interaction that was upon him. The store walls were lined with electronic gadgets and apparel, important to each citizen's everyday life. Kyle was amused. He loved Techno Gym. He loved the friendly store clerks. This was a comforting place for him to be. Kyle walked straight into the employee's break room and began rummaging around for things to take with him.
Walked right into the employee room.
Within a couple of minutes, Kyle had found a healthy stash of wallets and a phone, but no hot dogs. Kyle pushed past the circle of store clerks, pounding on his back and shouting to look inside the employee fridge. Inside, Kyle found several packed lunches, half-eaten subs, and a few bottled drinks, but no hot dogs. Kyle slid his way through the crowd of employees and law officials and walked outside. The sun was setting. The sun was setting, creating a soft glow of orange in the sky. The birds twittered. Kyle lifted his head high and breathed in deeply. He smiled.
How have you not gotten arrested this time? There's law officials there.
Yeah, this is like the time that he's not arrested. Like, why? Why is this like the time that he's not arrested? Felt like he needed to appreciate nature.
Just literally walked in and robbed the place. Perfectly fine. Acceptable behavior.
Kyle was flattened by the SWAT helicopter that had been called to stop his tech store rampage. Kyle had been properly stopped. Job well done. The SWAT helicopter flew away. Okay, so he wasn't arrested this time. He just had a SWAT helicopter just land on him.
On top of him?
Uh-huh. Smashed him right into the ground. Being now completely flat and also washable, Kyle became the first reusable source of printer paper. What? Companies rented Kyle for days and months at a time to help increase printer-related productivity and reduce waste. Kyle single-handedly reduced greenhouse gas production by 56%.
What the hell?
Eventually, Kyle was replaced with the also renewable laser-engraved mold lumps. Humanity flourished. Kyle became printable.
Okay.
That's strange.
Good job, Kyle.
Well, let's scavenge for hot dogs real quick. Get the love letters, exit, go to leave apartment, go to the neighbor, talk to neighbor, ask Gabby for a pen. Go back to apartment, turn to bedroom, sit at desk, rewrite love letters. Write about fish or point out recipients' flaws.
Point out their flaws.
Kyle decided to make some important comments about his high school crush that had been on his mind. After being upfront and honest, Kyle had produced a letter that was definitely weapon-like in nature. Ooh, does that mean I can go to the marketing agency? Rummage and trash. Press. Insert weapon-like letter to the slab. Kyle took the rewritten letter in his hand and pressed it into the indent. It fit perfectly, as if it had been written for this very purpose. As Kyle continued to watch, the letter began to glow softly. It sank deeper and deeper into the slab. Kyle was fixated on the letter. He watched it slowly turn and start to glow. In a flash of light, Kyle was in his old high school, watching himself interact with his schoolmates. He watched himself walk from class to class. He saw himself eat a napkin to try and impress Abigail. He then saw himself eat several textbooks to try and impress Abigail. He saw himself get kicked out of the library. Kyle watched himself write letter after letter to his crushes, friends, and even just people that seemed down. They weren't mean letters or even strange. Kyle had written them to be cheery and uplifting. Each one ended, crumpled in his pocket, never delivered. Kyle remembered the compassion he had for the people around him, but he saw his inability to express it well. Kyle saw the decisions he made about his career. He watched himself consider going into hot dog sales. Kyle watched himself choose to forego his passion and choose a career in entertainment instead. His career quickly grew. He became known, popular, famous. Kyle didn't change. Kyle continued to be himself. The audience saw his strange ingenuity. Kyle continued to run his talk show night after night. Viewers turned in to laugh at his antics and strange personality. Slowly, Kyle's story became to present day. Kyle was staring at the wall of the marketing agency, clutching a letter. With a start, Kyle became aware of himself. Kyle walked out of the agency and into the approaching evening. The sky was deep orange, wisps of clouds streaked left and right in graceful patterns. The sun was setting. Kyle wouldn't be selling hot dogs tonight or the next night or ever. Kyle traveled to his studio. There he met Rachel. They filmed an episode of his show together. The audience loved it. At the end of the night, Kyle walked outside and directed himself towards his apartment. As he traveled, his hand brushed the crumpled letters in his pocket. Kyle squeezed them in his palm. They would never leave his ownership. There was no need. Kyle had found his own way to deliver them. Kyle was still famous. That wasn't bad. Okay, anyways, gotta do the hot dog salesman. Make sure you're wearing clothes. Gonna scavenge.
Okay.
Actually, I gotta go back into that. I just want to see what this one does. So, closet, choose an outfit. Back to room, scavenge for hot dogs, get the letters. Exit the hallway, leave apartment, go visit neighbor. Don't scream and spin, greet. Ask Gabby for pin. Okay, return to apartment. Turn to bedroom. Sit at desk. Rewrite the love letters. Point out recipient's flaws. Hi, Abby, he read. I do not understand how people can appreciate you. I pretend to have a crush on you, but it's only because I'm bored. I don't actually like you much at all. It starts with the fact that you're not attractive. If you took more time on your appearance, I might like you for real. But that wouldn't solve the problem of your bland and meaningless personality. That you probably can't fix. Kyle looked up and finished. I would tell you to keep trying, but I'm not convinced it would make a difference. Abigail looked at Kyle softly. Oh, Kyle, have you been bottling that up since high school? She gave Kyle a supportive hug. I'm sure that's been on your mind, and I'm glad you got it off your chest. Kyle accepted the hug. It really has been. I've been thinking about it a lot. The two chatted idly for a while about high school and where their classmates were now. After about an hour, Kyle decided it was time to leave.
Go and read a mean letter to her and she's just perfectly okay.
Totally fine with it, I guess. Abigail and Kyle said their goodbyes. She told him to keep getting his feelings out so he could get past them. As Kyle walked home, he realized how incredibly abnormal it was to have such caring friends. Perhaps tomorrow he would start selling hot dogs, but tonight he was glad to have instead spent his time with good company. Reignited a friendship by writing a letter of hate. That's weird. Alright, anyways, that's going to do it for this video. I want to thank you for watching. Feel free to leave a comment. Hope you have yourself a good day. Bye-bye.
Night.